going to start by giving you a little introduction to South Coast. South Coast is a local angel fund. They specialize in investing in companies that are in early stage development. Mostly, they look for companies that have products in development. They may not be generating revenue as of yet. Two things to really know about South Coast that we have taken into consideration is that they, unlike a lot of venture capitalist funds or angel funds, are not industry specific, meaning they'll invest in companies in any industry they see as an opportunity. And secondly, each one of their members gets to vote on every investment opportunity. So what does South Coast ask us to do? Evaluate their current valuation method, develop a system so which their members could use in order to evaluate the investment opportunities presented to the firm or the fund, and finally develop a system of post-investment metrics that South Coast can use to track the companies that are already invested in. So we did a lot of research. We looked into other valuation methods, mostly pre-revenue, because a lot of these companies aren't generating revenue. Looked into South Coast's own valuation system. Looked in to see what other angel funds and VCs do as far as what kind of criteria they think are important toward in deciding to invest and their valuation methods. After that, we saw a significant amount of research saying that market size was very important, so we looked at ways to calculate market size and competition within these. And then we looked at metrics used by banks and other startups in order to develop our own metrics. So what we found, firstly we found a mathematical flaw in what South Coast was doing with their evaluation system. In regards to the metrics, the system for evaluating the investment, we found that market size, the entrepreneur and his experience, and the product were the three most important criteria. And finally, as far as metrics went, we saw that most of the metrics revolved around liquidity, efficiency, the customers, and forecasting. So moving into the valuation method, South Coast used the venture capital method. Basically, they're looking to find the return on investment multiple, which is basically if I invest $1 million in your company now, in an exit year, say 4 years from now, I multiply by that multiple, I should get that amount of money back. The formula, 1 plus return, or the required return on investment, raised to T, which is your exit year, over the probability of success. We found a double accounting for risk because the required return on investment was very high, and the method already, because of risk, was already very high, and the probability, you see here. So if you look at a little bit of math, you know information overload. It's important, it's down here at the bottom. If you do the math based on what we've done, and you calculate for P, you see that South Coast is actually estimating a probability of greater than 100% of success, which is not really not possible. So our recommendation is to reduce the required return on investment to something around 15%, which gives you a probability of about 35%, which is more applicable because most of these angel funds want to invest in about 10 firms or 10 companies and have 3 or 4 of them actually succeed in order to meet their goals. So moving on to the investment valuation system we made, we created a scorecard method, basically a weighted average based on what we felt were the most important criteria. We assigned a number of points based on the weighted average in each section. Market opportunity being the largest, we calculated the size of the market, the amount of revenue based on that market, the amount of competition in there if possible. Nextly, we looked at entrepreneur, his experience, basically how realistic his business plan was, part of the evaluation. Finally, we moved on to things like product. Is it a new product? How competitive are the other products, the quality of the other products in the market, things like that. Finally, marketing, sales, research, distribution channels created, then the need for additional funding, and finally, other category, which kind of sums up the fact that South Coast is involved in so many industries, they kind of need that. So finally, moving on to our metrics we created, we broke them into 2 real systems, pre-revenue and post-revenue. Again, we're focusing on liquidity and efficiency. There's more metrics in the next slide, but pre-revenue, really focusing on can they cover their current liabilities and how long, with their cash burn rate, how long before we need to put in more money to the firm. Once they reach revenue, we can do some more things. Say if they're not turning their inventory over at all, can they still cover their liabilities? Again, debt to cash flows. Then with efficiency, we're looking at how quickly they turn products into actually into cash, and how effective and efficient are they in their hiring process. In regards to customer, we calculated, is customer lifetime value greater than the cost of acquiring a customer? If not, some things need to be changed. And one thing we heard from a lot of people is that the total number of customers, if you only have 1 or 2 large customers in a small firm, and they kind of pull back on a contractor or something you thought could completely kill your business. So you don't want to have 1 or 2, that's a bad indicator. And finally, we use some software to forecast out revenues and expenses, get a profit, and then with the valuation, use the PE ratio from their original valuation to do some forecasting for net present value. And that's kind of a very brief overview of what our project entailed. Any questions?